Greetings everyone. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Evangelist Searchwell here, bringing you a couple of scriptures on today. Let's go ahead and get started. Our first scripture comes out of the book of Galatians chapter 5 and verse 13. It reads, "For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. Only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another." Our next scripture comes out of the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 16. It reads, "As free and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servants of God." So, Agenda 21. There was a conference back in 1992 with the United Nations, and they developed a list of articles that will, in short, ultimately supersede our Constitution. And these articles, as you read them, they sound real good. They use terms like sustainability for our planet and things like that. So it sounds really good as you're reading the articles. But be not deceived. Read between the lines, because ultimately what the goal of Agenda 21 is for everything and everyone on this planet to be contained and controlled from one central unit. And if you think about it, this is really ultimately a setup for the Antichrist to rule from his throne. Eventually, that's what's going to happen. Now, as I stated in my other video, my RFID video, this is just the very, very beginning. I don't know if we're still going to be here when the tribulation takes place. None of us know that. But what we do know is that things are beginning to unfold. We are in the beginning stages. The RFID chip has already been implanted in people's hands, which is the mark of the beast. The chip for the head, which Revelations 13 verse 16 talks about, is already being developed by Elon Musk, who works for Tesla. That's the mark of the beast for the head. It's being developed. It's a chip. But the Antichrist ultimately will rule from his throne. And people will, what he's been wanting all this time is for people to bow down and worship him. Satan even wanted Christ to bow down and worship him. And he didn't. And so neither will you and I, hopefully. I won't, and I hope you won't either. But there will be people who will worship him. And he's going to rule from his throne. It's going to be from one central place. He's going to have total control. And that is what Agenda 21 ultimately, aside from that spiritual aspect that I'm talking about, Agenda 21 is basically working to get everyone to have a complete inventory of every person, every plant, animal, mineral, everything, the energy, the food, everything. It's going to be accounted for. It's going to be a total inventory. And so that requires us basically losing our freedom, our free will, our liberty, because they already don't want people in the city to plant their own fruits and vegetables and things like that, because they want everything to be accounted for. But Agenda 21, basically the idea is that by the year 2030, this will be up and running. Okay, so again, we're in the beginning stages. You can read it, and you'll find that it sounds good, but if you read between the lines, you should really know and be warned that Agenda 21 is not in our favor. They're going to move everyone from the rural areas people who are living off the grid, they want everyone like in central areas, like in city area. They want, it's really, in essence, there'll be like concentration camps and things like that, but it won't look like how it looked years ago. We live in the age of technology, so everything is sophisticated. No one's gonna, they don't have to come to your door with guns to move you to these dense areas where they want the populations, so that in order for them to control, they have control of the energy, the power, the water. So they have ways to control and move people in areas where they want them. So local governments will be a thing of the past. And, the idea is to get everyone on one united front so that it can all be controlled from one central unit. And so this is when we talk about the New World Order, this is what it is. Getting rid of the local governments, all the corporations and everything uniting and becoming one so that it can be contained and controlled. Okay? But just so that this video is not too long, I'm going to go ahead and close out. And just again, I want to remind you, the most important thing that we have is our private property, which is our bodies. This is the most important freedom that we have, is freedom over our bodies. So no one should be implanting you with any chips or anything like that. Okay? But look into it. Do your research and have conversations about it. A lot of us don't know about it, but it is real, and it is a conspiracy. Well, unfortunately, it's not a theory, it's actual fact. So, with that said, I wish you peace and love in your heart. And until next time, bye for now.
Searching